In this video, I'm going to show you a quick and easy way on how to remove the filter motor and pump assembly as one on our Velocity unit here. Now, the reason we might have to do this is because maybe we're just replacing a leaking seal, maybe rebuilding the pump, or just replacing the filter motor itself. Now, before we get ready to do that, I do have both side panels removed on this unit to make it easier to access and open it up so that we can see in this video. And the last thing we need to do before we get started is go ahead and remove our condensation pan out the front of the unit. We'll set that off to the side. And then we need to remove our ATO reservoir. Now we're going to pull this straight forward, and then we're going to pull it over to the side a little bit and lift up, because that's the way it locks into the track. So we'll need to keep that in mind when we go back together with that. We'll get this out of the way and we can go ahead and get started. As you can see here, these are some of the tools that will be needed in order to complete this job. So you can see here, we're on the left side of the unit, and we're going to remove our return line that comes off of the outlet of our pump over here at this check valve. So we'll go ahead and remove this. So we were just right here at our return line on the outside, and now we're going to come into the inside, right coming off of our pump housing, and we're going to go ahead and break this line loose. Now the reason we want to do this and get it taken off at both ends is because this is a hard plumbed line. You can see that it does not flex. So we want to get that taken off at both ends. So we'll go ahead and unthread this, and then we can pull our line off and just set it down to the side here, out of the way. So now we're on the right side of the unit, and this right here is going to be our suction line that goes to our filter pan, and then you can see comes up to the inlet side of our pump. So we're going to go ahead and take this off real quick. So we'll let this down, set it out of the way. Keep in mind there might be oil that comes out of there, so setting a pan underneath the fryer to catch that will help any messes that we might have. So now that we're done here, we're going to go ahead and go up to the front of the fryer so we can remove the plug and play connection. So now we're back up at the front of the fryer, and we're going to come down underneath, and we're going to remove these two pins right here to remove our plug and play connection and get it out of the way. So the way we remove these is we have these little spring-loaded nubs right here at the end of the pin, and we're just going to take our needle nose pliers and squeeze those in and then pull the pin through. And once we get it to the back here, it's actually slotted to where we can get it past that plug and play. Now we'll go ahead and do our back one. We'll squeeze it like so, get it pulled through there also, and then we can just kind of twist and pull that whole plug and play connection down and get it out of there and set it off to the side. So now when we get our filter motor assembly unmounted from the mounting plate, we'll have plenty of room down here to drop it and pull it out the front of the fryer. Okay, so now we need to remove the electrical cover on our motors so we can disconnect the electrical so that once we dismount it from the mounting plate, we can drop it down free and clear. We'll do that by loosening this screw up here on the left, and then we'll take this screw off completely here on the right so that we can get this cover out of our way. This will give us access to our electrical connections, which we want to pay special attention to the orientation of the wires so that when we go back together, we hook those up in the exact same spots. Now we can go ahead and take off our lock ring so that we can completely disconnect the electrical. You do so by just kind of scooting it around, get it loosened up, and then we can drop that down. So once we get that disconnected and pulled through, we can just kind of prop it up off to the side and out of our way. Okay, so we're at our last step, which is going to be unmounting our 4 mounting bolts. Now you'll see here that these are welded at the bottom, so we'll have to take these bottom 2 nuts off that are on the back side of this plate. We'll have to take those completely off. However, these top 2 are actually slotted to help you go back together. So what we don't want to do is take these nuts completely off. We actually want to loosen these up and then just run the nuts out to the end of the bolt. And that'll allow us, when we go back together, to kind of lift this thing up and latch it onto those slots so that we don't have to hold it up and line it up perfectly. And we'll go ahead and get this started by busting these nuts loose. And this is going to be a 1/2-inch wrench. So as you can see there, I got that one loosened up. So I'm just going to run it out to the end of that bolt, but not take it completely off. Get this one loosened up. Now, one thing that can happen sometimes, and when these get all greasy and set for a long time, is this can actually turn, which turns the bolt. So if and when you're trying to bust that nut loose, so you can actually just use your channel locks or pliers as a backup wrench so that this doesn't turn when you're trying to get the nut loose. So now that I got these top two loose out to the end of the bolt, we're gonna go down to our bottom two so we can take those completely off, and we'll get a different camera angle here so we can see those better. So now I have my 1/2-inch wrench on these bottom mounting nuts, and we can go ahead and get these loose. And as I mentioned before, we need to take these ones all the way off. Move back to my back one. So now that we have our bottom two nuts completely off, we have these top ones loosened all the way up, we can go ahead and lift up, kind of slide these off like so. Kind of wiggle it around. And we can drop it down to the bottom. Now that we have this unit completely pulled out, we have full access to go ahead and either rebuild our pump, replace the seal, or replace the filter motor, whichever it was we needed to do. And then basically, as far as going back together, we can just repeat the process in reverse order. A couple of things to call out is just making sure that we get our line connections tight. Also, make sure that we get our plug and play connection with the pins going through. Those are spring loaded, so they should go back together pretty easy. Also, we want to make sure that we hook up our electrical exactly how it was hooked up when we disconnected it. And the last thing I want to call out, this is just kind of a pro tip, is right here on our pump body, when we get this all installed back together, it's going to be pretty critical that we prime this pump with fresh oil at room temperature. And we can do so by just taking out this 1/4-inch pipe plug and then pouring fresh oil into that opening. Now, the convenient part of this is this pipe plug will be on the upward side when we get this reinstalled. So we can just simply undo that, pour fresh oil in, put that back on, and then we'll be ready to go ahead and do a test filtration after we've gotten everything hooked up. And you can see just how easy it is to get this unit out and to have full access to work on it.